Well, Deirdre on the mic, you already know what it is. We're coming in with some Cendrillmon EX-08 gameplay for your retinas. Going over, obviously, incorporating my new build that I have showcased to you, and just basically showing you what the deck is capable of with the new promos. Being the key thing here, because new promos do open up a lot of plays, a lot of aggression for this actual archetype, which is huge. You know, we're all about that kind of free resource up in this business. So let's start off with the plays right here. As you can see, I do get a Shumon in Raising promo, and then I go out with the Searcher, which is just going to get some key pieces here. So my initial thoughts were, well, if they're not going to out my Shumon, effectively what I can be doing next turn is going into the EX-07 Shumon, and then go and play out an Orisa, which is obviously going to be our memory setter, which is going to give us some amazing tempo in order for us to effectively feel comfortable whilst being aggressive and climb up our line efficiently. So we see the Keimon going out with the Search, which is going to be good for the opponent to kind of pick up the pieces, and also has a Keimon in the Raising, then goes to Sorumon, which this right here enables him to play in the Sonata. So this is going to really help him have that good setup in order for him to kind of spawn out those Diaboromons, which is obviously the overall game plan. So it's left me on 2, which is just an ideal number. Go with the Shoo, and we already know we're going with the absolute mainstay, and it is going to be in the memory setter. I mean that I'm going to be starting off at 3 memory, which is great, and then we'll just combo it up with a Scramble, which is going to be helpful for us to go into our Chaperone, and then we should be able to play out a level 3 Puppetry the Digimon, which is obviously going to be our shoe, and this is such a great shoe in order for us to be memory efficient. I kind of do wish I did have this in Raising, but regardless, just having it out is always fantastic, and I'm choosing not to go with the overclock on this. I just want to make sure I kind of got some bodies out on field in order for us to kind of leverage that if we do happen to go into a, you know, get another champion from our draws. So the opponent comes out with the Kiramon and the Sorumon, goes in with a black memory boost, which now revealed us 4 cards and got options here. Absolutely goes with the Infermon, which is such a powerful level 5 right here. And this, I'm walking into some stupid ass plays. I'm not gonna lie here, guys. There's some clownish plays I do here, mainly because I've not faced Diaboromon in a very long time. So me is kind of adapting to what that deck does, and you know, me kind of working on what my deck specializes in and trying to get that aggro off without walking into anything. You know, people are all about the flavor. We got mean spice up in here, and I'm just you know, they could run an ace for all I know, and obviously we do have the Diaboromon ace, which is kind of menacing and kind of scary. And we kind of play into that game plan, because obviously if we're effectively, you know, summoning bodies from our effects, we're just triggering what they're going to be doing. So we get a Catastrophe Cannon, which that digivolve is absolutely wounding right now. It's not the wave at all. But we have to go and use the Scramble just to get and secure a champion in order for us to do stuff. So I did go with the EX-07 because it means that we can actually play out another Tamer, and lucky enough we clutch another Chaperone, which just works fantastic for us right now. So we can get that board establishment, which is perfect, as well as climbing up to our level 5 once more. But then, we got Keimon here, who is able to then Evo into Infermon, and then when Digivolve on effect is able to de-Digivolve me down a stage, which I'm just like, great stuff. I ain't feeling so hot right now. This is very unfortunate and puts me in a very sticky situation. So in my head I'm thinking, right, I need to somewhat disrupt that kind of play. My ultimate play would have been me going into Cendrillmon Ace and then, you know, effectively kind of working on from that, but looks like I'm gonna have to hard slam the Cendrillmon Ace down, which isn't great. It's not glamorous, but my thinking here was, if you're going to de-digivolve me, try de-digivolve a body that can't be de-digivolved. Suck on that. That was my approach right there. Whilst I give the opponent 8 memory and also a free token, which is always delightful. So the opponent is setting up beautifully. He's got the black memory boost chilling there, which enables the opponent to kind of pop off pretty hard. That Digivolve once again controlling my board, and that's what Diaboromon is all about, is that kind of control. But we've kind of stopped that kind of control aspect with having the Throwdowns ace down, which it does help because it means that we can kind of push aggro a little bit. But because the main stack is granting all the Diaboromon tokens blocker, it's going to slow this game down a fair bit, which is not hot. And as you can see, they're multiplying. The virus is spreading, which really puts me in an awkward predicament. My hand isn't looking the best. I do have obviously the Shine Greymon Burst Mode Ace, which can really push that aggression, which is good. It can make me swing over, bodies and so forth. But if they've got all the blockers out, it's a matter of how am I going to get rid of the source in order for me to get rid of that inevitable, which is granting them the blocker. That's the thing going through my head right now. So opponent is contemplating right here. I'm thinking, do I even push out with my shoe in the back? I'm kind of keeping him in the wings a little bit, just so I can kind of have more options and not just be left on. They have an effect that can just wipe out my board and I've got nothing to kind of come back on. That isn't great at all. But the thing I'm liking about this particular build, and it's kind of why I've moved away from the promo tamer, is that it's great if I have line to kind of climb up and abuse it after I've played it. Now I'm just feeling like, us having the ability to set up, getting that memory set down is crucial, as well as that memory setter being a key facilitator for us and our aggro, and then having EX-08 Orisa just there enabling us to effectively, one, gain memory if they've got a Digimon out on field, which they do have, and if we happen to, delete one of our puppet trait Digimon, or the opponent does, we're able to kind of get one back out, which is just absolutely fantastic for us. So now I go into the EX-07 Shushu, combo that up with a glorious Chaparral. Once again, we're just climbing up back to that Chaparral. And the thing here, I'm like, okay, I can't play anything out, which is actually really good because this is what we want. But the thing that I missed, like a bit of a misplay, but somewhat a blessing in disguise a little bit, is that I'm going to play tokens, which effectively is going to trigger off the Diaboromon effect to digivolve me. Well, basically, it will activate its digivolving effect to then, actually play out another Diaboromon token, and then digivolve my ass, which isn't great, but it does mean I have more swings on board. It does mean I can still overclock, which is great. So I'm going to overclock with one of my familiars, which one of my familiars is able to delete one of their tokens. So we're deleting tokens. It's token on token violence right now, which is absolutely handy in order for us to kind of get rid of those blockers out on the field. And that was my main kind of plan here, is try to get rid of some of those blockers, because effectively the opponent has to block unless he lets the swing go through. I do play out the promo issue, which puts that minus security on the main Diaboromon with the 4 sources, and I'm going for the swing. I'm feeling good, but the opponent's like, nah, chief, Diaboromon, block that right there, which absolutely did with splendor fashion. So here comes the doomsday clock. I'm like, oh boy, brother's put me on a timer. I don't like it at all. I completely forgot this card even existed. So the Kurisamon comes out. We do have the Diaboromon here, which effectively is, when they play out something, blam, they get that digivolve, that maximum control, which is just unfortunate, putting us down the stage, really slowing us down. But luckily enough, we still got that Throwdowns ace coming in clutch. And even though, I have ways that I can somewhat delete stuff. I'm hanging on to that ace, and they can't digivolve my Ruby, which is an absolute godsend right here, because it means that when I play that EX-07 Orisa, Shazam, I'll be able to delete 15k DB, and that's hella sexy, and exactly what we need right here to get rid of that main stack, which disables that blocker inevitable, which is the thing that's being annoying. So right now, goes in with a swing with the token. 3k coming at my face. I'm like, blast Digiball, baby. Yay! And I'm feeling hella swag. So right now, Yes, I will play a Tamer, thank you very much. Arissa, come on, girl. Get yourself down here and let me delete that right now. And you know that 15k is going straight on my main body. And that blocker, that barrier, little barrier icon, be gone. But those inheritals once more, bringing out those tokens, which, once again, more swings on board. And I'm kind of fearing like, well, what if you got the Armageddon that I can't quite remember what it does, but I swear if you play it by deleting one of your tokens, you can pretty much get it out for reduced cost or free, and Shazam, you are absolutely laughing and going with that rush swing. But luckily enough, you know, I can't see it happening, and the opponent swung in and actually triggered out our security promo Shushu. And this is where this card comes in absolute clutch for some great passive control. And we set up with the Arissas there too. But unfortunately, our hand is looking a bit shit. And we don't have any rookies to even play out off of the Arissas. So, brother's still clawing through my ends, which isn't great. But lucky enough, I did manage to kind of knock off a swing, which was very crucial to actually stop them winning game. Because if I didn't get rid of that Diaboromon, curtains. Absolutely curtains. I'm taking the L plates home. And I don't like the L plates, and I'm sure you guys don't like it either. So luckily enough, I'm feeling fine, but I'm really clutching on my security. But the way I've built this deck is that I'm actually aiming to get more benefit from my deck in order for me to either build out my board whilst they're obviously chipping in order for me to kind of clap back. And as you can see, my board is pretty freaking wide. Granted, there's going to be a familiar token that's going to blow up, but at least I'll be able to blow up one of their unsuspended Digimon. Being the thing, and surprise, surprise, blam, the battle still commences, so that Diaboromon token is curtains, but for us, we get to play out the shoe, and we also get to get another familiar token. So we can possibly blow up 2 additional familiar token. No, we can blow up 2 Diaboromon tokens from the opponent's board, which for me, it's getting rid of the one that is not suspended, and so that brother can't block. And I should be able to generate enough swings in order for me to get this game wrapped up real nice. Now put that shit in a bow. That's what I'm talking about right here. So I had to go look at this boy real quick, and I'm thinking this card is so goated, he's going to blow up that Diaboromon token and then go into the freaking level 6. And I'm just like, can I get a day off right now? So now that I figured out what this brother does, and I've actually read cards, brings out a Diaboromon token, which is fine. What I'm going to do is not play out a Digimon in order to get more tokens out on field. Unfortunately, that digivolve does kick in, and oh, those tokens are just swarming back out, unfortunately. And because of that overflow, boy had it clocked. Boy had it clocked, and he did me an absolute freaking solid. So this is where I was kind of wondering, like, does he have Armageddon on here? Because I swear to God, Armageddon could have. I'm thinking he probably may be able to done something here, but he does throw out another clock, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna pass me on. He's gonna pass me on 3, because 3 would be ideal since I've got a memory set about. Or pass me on more. I mean, I'll take more. Pass me on 4, and I can get 6 memory. Yay! But I don't think the opponent's gonna be thinking about that. But look at this board state. It's wide on wide violence here, guys, and I'm kind of worried of where we're taking this. I'm thinking I need to get either rid of the Diaboromon that's basically given a blocker again, or get rid of some of these blockers. So, lucky enough, I have to delete 2 of my familiar tokens at the end of the opponent's turn off the promo shoes. So this is coming in pretty freaking clutch right now. So that effectively gets rid of 2 blockers, which is freaking handy because realistically, we have more swings to wrap up game, which is gorgeous. The thing as well is that the actual level 6 Diaboromon with the sources is 11k, so we could, to be safe, swing in to the Diaboromon and make sure it's gone. And this was my initial thinking. Little did I forget that blockers exist. For some reason, I don't know why, I didn't think maybe the opponent might just block with one of the Diaboromon tokens here. You know, since they have blocker, that's the you know, the overall gimmick. No, maybe it might do that. Literally did not think of that whatsoever. So I was like, initially, before I even checked that his DP's actually low, I'm like, oh, I had a freaking alliance, which would definitely would have been an absolute clownish move. But I'm more DP. But unfortunately, those blockers come in clutch, and that Diaboromon token absolutely saved the boy. So right now, I'm looking at my actual, you know, meta swings. I'm like, I got this. Like, I got this. Like, there's nothing really much they could do, unless they got a surprise ace. But I can't remember a black level 7 ace that could evo on top of a Diaboromon. I'm like, that right there, that don't want to exist, to my knowledge. So I'm going in swinging. Obviously, the block comes in handy for the opponents. I'm like, fine, absolutely fine. We will allow it. But we're gonna go and just try and wrap this up right here. Shazam! There's an Armageddonmon. If that Armageddonmon was in his hand, and maybe the opponent might just run one. Like, maybe that is the one-off, which would be unfortunate, because I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if he had Armageddonmon, I think this would have been done ages ago. But luckily enough, he didn't. So we roll with that. So I'm absolutely taking punches to the face, but it's fine. Puppets are used to it. You know, Arissa's just throws them into the gauntlet, see if they stick. And naturally, if I have the inevitables, you know, the security would be freaking glass right here. But you know, we've been digivolved to hell. So we literally, you know, half our Digimon are pretty much base form. But the opponent just accepts the loss, and I take the dub. So guys, tell me what you think to the overall game. Like I say, I really do like Cendrillmon, and when it works, it works. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes, you know, the online client is fantastic, but I feel like when I play in real life, the hands ain't as silky smooth as what it is on the sim. But you know, it is what it is. But if you enjoyed the content, especially like a standard, stay safe, stay fly, and I'll catch you next one. That's your boy D Dread, off the mic.